Okay, so we are should be live now. Let's see. So, hey Tom, can you hear me? Tom? Let's see. All right, folks. Well, we are live, I think. So, everyone stream on in. We'll give it a few minutes and then we'll get back to the conversation. And this video that's on the screen now, it's been kind of an interesting thing. Um, The title is Black Women Hike to Wildwood Canyon Park. And yeah, we can be outdoorsy. That might be my point. So let's see. Let's see if I did this right. Let's see, no one's coming in. Oh, good. So it is working. All right.
I'm sure.
So
I'm sure. I'm sure people will find their way to the joys of the Stanley Cross
yeah,
experience. I didn't
it's
realize
horrible, isn't it?
my microphone was off.
Oh, that's all right.
I had to perform a biological errand, and
Well,
I
um,
as we
hopefully
do.
Ryan comes back. Man, we ought to do this more often. Just bullshit around. Um,
Well, I don't know that anybody wants to hear my thoughts on anything about all that stuff. And frankly,
hey, you know what?
I feel like
Fuck them.
I would walk away from me at a party if I was talking about this stuff. I don't find it very interesting, and uh, maybe other people do, but I'm really looking forward to the day when I'm just watching TV all day and not doing much of anything. But I just got too much energy and willingness to do things to go down that road at this point.
Yeah, I don't know. You and me might be different that way. I, you know, and I kid you not. The last time, uh, like before I went to college, my parish priest, was a widower. There's a way you can become at least a parish priest if you are a widower. He had a child, maybe a son or two. But you know what? After his wife died, it's what he wanted to do, be a parish priest. And I seriously consider that. And I think I've just kind of become more, is the word aesthete or monastic? I've just, a lot of things that I used to think mattered actually don't. So anyway, that's my thing. Sometimes I don't really care. If it interests me, then you know, people can tell me if they get bored and I can move on.
Right. I think you'd be a good teacher, Stanley. I think you should look at teaching. Maybe
I don't
not.
have
Maybe
that kind of patience.
well, maybe at the collegiate level.
Yeah, I thought of that too. But you know what? I'm just, I will do where the wind blows me. Need to make sure my son makes it through his next challenge, and you know, I think what's going to wind up happening is I'm going to wind up moving back to Savannah. My father's getting up in age, or is up in age, and I'm the only one who's not married. Um, you know, and it's probably logical that I, you know, wind up down there. And I think I told you this. Fishing will be a bonus.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of pressure to maybe move back to Indiana for some of those same reasons.
well, is it from your siblings?
It's from me, and just
Okay, yeah,
things
yeah, yeah.
people
That's
had
that's
mentioned,
the best kind of pressure.
and things other people had mentioned, and I
Mhm.
just kind of boy, I really it's just more of it's more the weather, and once you've lived in a
Yeah,
real big
yeah, yeah.
city, once you lived in a
Well,
real big city.
have you ever thought of, your parents would move, would
Oh no, 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 that ain't happening.
they?
That ain't happening. No, they've lived there their whole lives, with the exception of a few years in Michigan, and so
My
that's
my
yeah,
sister tried to get both my father and my mother, like, hey, move up to Atlanta. And my mother wasn't having it.
yeah. I'm
Now the great thing is, I Tom, there are just things that you're grateful for. And my parents were great planners. My mother died in her own bed, in her own home of 50 plus years. If you gotta go, um, shit, you know, she, again, I don't want to take this into a modeling direction, but um, I was impressed.
yeah. Well, I gotta in an hour. I gotta leave to have my weekly call with my mom. So I
Well, tell her, the Stanley versus the world says hello.
yeah I don't think anybody in my family even watches my show, but that would make them not unlike everyone else. It's weird,
Well, that
even
would that would actually make them lucky.
even
I
on the
know my
radio.
father does not watch my show. He
Even on the
disapprove of the
when
language.
I was on the radio,
Mhm.
the people that I know in my family, they never
Yeah,
listen. It's other people. When I was
really.
last on KRLD, I had to do some midday shifts, and I
Mhm.
got off the air and saw that my best friend's wife had gone. I was driving to work and I heard you on the radio.
Oh
I'm like,
wow.
yeah, I've been doing this a while. It's more of a surprise to you than me, but the weather in Indiana, and once you've lived in a big city, it's hard to go
Mhm.
back to even a medium size, like or
Yeah. Oh yeah.
larger, and just you get used to it. I've been here for 25 years now,
Really,
and
I didn't know you'd live. To be honest, I thought you were a newcomer to Dallas.
no, 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 no. I left for 3 years to go teach in Utah. That
Mhm.
was a real bright move, and other than that, I've
I
been
like
here.
Utah.
Well, I do too, but when you live in a community where you're not one of the people in the club,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I don't know what to tell you. It's not as easy, but
Yeah, I only visited a couple times.
there were good points to it. I'm not unhappy that I did it, but I am glad I'm back here in Dallas. The I just love it here. Absolutely, I loved it from the second I interviewed down here for the job I took that brought me here. I said this is the place for me, and I think that's just the way it is. But you know, it's that's the sort of what we were talking about. You just said, the moment that you're in is the moment you're in. You can complain about it and the terms of it, and I think there's a lot
Yeah.
of ageism in the world, but it's like, well, I don't know that I have the power to change that, so I have to obfuscate it or outflank it wherever I can and make
Well,
the
you
best
remember fried
situation.
green tomatoes?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm
I'm older and I have more insurance.
well. It was. I thought it was like I'm young in this and I'm rich. I'm old and rich or something. I don't know what she said, but
No,
yes.
she literally said, because she didn't play a rich character,
Okay.
and I will. Damn it. She's actually got a TV show now.
Yeah, Kathy Bates. Kathy
I
Bates.
have always liked that woman.
Yeah, she's been
Um,
great forever.
yeah, but I'm older and I have more insurance. I love that line, and I was fairly young. I like that statement, and
Yeah.
I made forms of that statement, from you know to my son and everyone else.
Well,
It's like,
that's what I was trying to explain to that youngster yesterday was you may hate us, but are going to continue to become a larger portion of the voting block than
right.
you. You should probably get along with us a little bit,
Yeah, be nicer. We'll invite you to Thanksgiving dinner.
or just something south of you should die.
Yeah, that's so immature, man.
You should just. It was amazing to me. He was so lasagna killer was so vehement about it and felt like there was an argument there. It was like,
Well, Lasagna Killer, there are limitations that I notice. I don't think Lasagna Killer is all there.
yeah, that's one of his psychopathies.
I don't even know that it's a psychopathy. I don't really care that much. But I hadn't talked to him in a while. That's why, it was good. It was actually good talking to him.
We were having a
But
wonderful conversation,
yeah,
and then it just
yeah,
went south so
yeah.
fast. Ugh, oh well. And then London came in, and out came the
Oh my
knives.
Lord, I've never seen, dude, I'm in awe. If only I could do what she did. Like, she dismantled him and didn't raise her voice.
Well, and it's
Damn
part
it, why
part
can't I do that?
part of it is her voice, but when she called him
Right.
skinny fat, I was on the floor.
I
You're
was like,
skinny fat, aren't
what?
you? You're one of those skinny boys that's got a pooch gut and no tone to his muscle, aren't you? You're
Oh my
skinny fat.
Lord, that was funny.
Skinny fat. Oh God, that's such a funny concept. Such a funny concept.
That woman, I've, through the YouTube, of course, but she is really just, I've never met, she thinks differently. I think, I think she is literally on a different plane. I think she looks down upon us mere mortals.
Well, people from the UK, the way they were schooled is is just different than ours.
Right.
They stick to sort of objective view of most things, and and there's something about the British accent on a lady that I just think is really
Well, the
nice.
thing that's most, and this is why I always have appreciated, I think British TV is like 8 miles higher than American TV. They don't, other than like a Monty Python show or Benny Hill, they don't go for laughs. It's either funny or it's not. I've always had a fascination, but I've always been more like I had this fascination since I was a kid with all creatures great and small. To me, it was always just human.
Well,
And
I read all the books before the
did you
TV.
really?
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
never have.
Well, my mother, you'll be glad to know this, who I'm going to speak with in 54 minutes. She is a huge reader and
Oh, of course.
goes to the library quite frequently and always was. And
Still?
so yeah, to this day, yes. Oh yes.
Wow.
She gets on the
Interesting.
lists for the new releases. Oh yeah,
Oh, wow.
she's a voracious reader.
Hmm.
And so she's always had books laying around, and I would read them. You know, I started reading when I was 4,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yep. Yep.
she had the James Herriot novels, and
Really?
I read them before the series, and when the series came out, you don't often say this is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
This series is exactly the spirit of those novels.
Mm-hmm.
It's pitch perfect,
Mm-hmm.
and that was a really outstanding series.
Well, now you're a couple years older, but I've always had a fascination through All Creatures Great and Small with the English countryside. And I like living rural now. And I'm not that rural actually, but it's rural-ish.
Well, I
But
think technically that's the Welsh countryside.
oh, really? I didn't know
Yeah,
that. I don't know the.
he went to a very very small Welsh community,
Well, no,
which
it's the Yorkshire Dales. At least
okay.
that's the way it's portrayed in the show.
I thought he went to Wales in the first novel. I could be incorrect.
Oh, no, no, no. I'm talking about the show.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know the novel, so you might have something on me there. But
No, I might
the
not. I don't know that. You know, there's things I know for a fact and things I
Mhm.
halfway remember, and that's a definitely a halfway remember.
Yeah.
Uh, you know,
Yeah, I you know, um and speaking of, the accent goes well with the hey, it's a snarky accent.
it is pretty. It is pretty snarky. It can be very very. They
They
have the
can
most.
they
Yeah, they have a venomous, just absolutely venomous, uh, sense of humor.
always admired it. And unfortunately, I every now and again I get it right. So, let's see. Let's see. This video um fascinates me, and again, it's been like Black People Hike too. There are like black AT hiking clubs, like Appalachian Trail, and thinking of the show that we just ended, do black people take race too seriously or something to that effect? Um, I think we in the past have had to, probably until the foreseeable future, do it. So, any thoughts on that? And yep, I will ask you about these sorts of subjects too, because you probably have thoughts.
What, just about black people hiking?
Yeah. Not so much as the black people being an urban population. Like we don't get outdoors.
I don't believe that. There's a very rich history of black rodeo
Hey,
participants,
Brooklyn.
and
Oh, the black
you know,
rodeo. Oh my Lord, you are right.
yeah. I mean, I don't.
Buffalo soldiers.
Yeah, I think that's there's
I love this picture.
tremendous rural South uh, people of color that is undeniable. So I don't. No, I don't. I don't put any. I think people, the outdoors appeals to everybody, and there's people that live in them of all races, colors, and creeds.
You know what? Maybe this is what I'll do. Uh, I I didn't know there was an Atlanta outdoor club. I bet they fish. So, it is so weird. Oh, I love this. This is awesome. All right. Well, I think I might know what I'm going to do.
Yeah, hiking is huge where I lived in Utah. It's Capitol
Mhm.
Reef
Yep.
National Park is there, and there's bunches of well-worn hiking trails, and if you want to get off the beaten path, you can. I wouldn't recommend it for most people, but there's
Oh,
trails
wow,
of,
not at my age.
trails of all skill levels, and every day every year, excuse me, the elementary school takes a field trip out there and does hiking, and
Mhm.
it's spectacular.
No, this is fucking brilliant.
I don't do it
I'm
because
going
to
to
me
join you.
hiking is walking, and I just go. I drive through this stuff every day. It's beautiful and
Right.
spectacular, and I'm good. But a lot of other people really like it. My brother's property, we would hike all the time, and oh my god, the amount of wildlife and remnants of wildlife and evidence of wildlife, and you're walking along and you see a paw print of a mountain lion with the pebbling still in the pads of its. You're like, okay, you better draw your weapon and let's just mosey back toward the house.
Yeah. Years ago, believe this or not, it was an Army ROTC class in college. Believe it or not, I had an Army ROTC scholarship. Um, we took a quote survival class where we did about 40 miles of the Georgia portion of the Appalachian Trail, and it was revelational. I fucking loved
Yeah.
it. And I was running cross country at the time. So I basically, it was so funny. Um, I have to do a different pace, and you probably understand that point. Walking slow with everyone else is torture. I used to have a problem with that in Navy OCS. When we're supposed to be marching, it's torture. Like in the morning, you had to do PT, the physical training.
Hmm.
Marching was part of it. And I literally asked my drill instructor, it's like, I can't do this. It hurts almost. I have to run. Um, you
Yeah.
know,
No.
I will run around the formation. I just got to run.
Well, Stanley,
It, it,
when you're my size,
yeah, yeah,
going slowly is
yes.
brutal. I mean, when
Hmm.
you got to get going to keep this freight wagon moving. I mean, when
Right.
you're just plodding along and you're 6'5", it's actually way more work than running or walking faster.
Hey, Lou, hit the link, Lou, if you want. I didn't pin it. Let's see. Hit the link if you want. You know Lou, right? Free Zone Lou.
Sure, sure.
Okay, and Kimmy, come up if you want to. If you're at school, that's even better. But it's yeah, it was so funny, and there were a few of us like that, and I wasn't even the fastest fucking runner. It's got to be a pace, and if we're gonna do PT, let's really do PT. It's like
Yeah.
this slow bullshit.
I still have a little journal I would keep in the summers when I was in high school when no one else was really playing soccer. I would go train by myself every day. And I kept very copious notes about what I did every day. But I would go and I would train by myself 4 hours a day, every single day.
Right.
So when it came time for the beginning of the season, everybody else is huffing and puffing and, trying to get up to speed. And I'm like, no, man, I'm ready. Let's go. Let's do this.
Right. Kim, to your point, look at this Atlanta Outdoor Club. It's multiracial. I'm not suggesting hiking by race. My point.
That's already been done.
Oh, that's funny. Trail of Tears.
No, well, that and then the Underground Railroad.
Oh yeah. But here's the deal though. My main point is that people and his name, I have to bring it up. Dude, be brave, has a certain perspective of what black people do, apart from American culture. Apparently, black people live in a different culture. Um, I bring it up because people like Be Brave would never go out hiking. And he would expect it. He would never go hiking on a remote trail with black people because he's probably afraid of being killed. Some black hikers gonna whip out a gun and murderize him.
If he doesn't say anything, they won't.
They probably choke him or push him off a hill or a cliff.
Or that missing 411 thing might happen to him.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
He was here a minute
oh,
ago.
dude, be brave.
No, just, do you know what missing 411 is?
Oh no, I figured they'd be flying in helicopters. He fell.
No, missing 411 is a big internet thing right now. It's a
Oh, really?
phenomenon. Yeah, it's this former police
Misting?
missing 411, and it's
Oh,
a
let's look that
phenomenon.
up.
It's a phenomenon. There's a former police officer named David Pilates, and he's done a study of all the
Mhm.
national parks of these bizarre
Oh, really?
disappearances in the national parks. And it's actually a little bit fascinating. I don't know that I totally believe it, but there's so many examples of people that just within feet of other people suddenly are missing. They find them miles and miles and miles away in places they never could have possibly traveled. And there's
Oh,
certain
wow.
characteristics of it. There are always people at the very front or the very back. There's a whole bunch of different things that are commonalities to this phenomenon, and
Ooh.
it's happened a lot. And yeah, it's this sort of unexplained missing. What happened to this person? They were with a group of other people within eyesight. And so it's just, that's what I'm saying. Be brave. It might be, well, he was here a minute ago. I don't know what happened to him.
I'm thinking of the possibilities just as you speak.
But the missing 411 thing is huge on the internet. It would definitely be
Really?
an AM coast to coast type of a subject. But he has copious records on these incidences. Now, some people would say, obviously these are wilderness areas, etc. If somebody did get lost, they might wander off. But there's cases of like toddlers that they find that are over mountain gorges and stuff and things of that nature. So it's what it is. But I only brought it up because that would be a good cop out. Would be, I don't know. I saw him just a second ago. What happened?
Oh, wait, hold it. What the fuck does that mean? Stanley's algorithm is strictly black.
Yeah, this guy is just. I can only see. I can only see him now when I'm in the super chat. I mean the StreamYard, because I've just turned him off on the regular channels. There's nothing there. It's just
Well, that's Maven.
yeah. It's
Mm.
absolutely nothing. I pay him no
What?
Hey
mind.
guys, I'm back.
He's
Sorry about that.
hey, what's
Oh,
going
no
on?
problem.
We're having such a
I
good
you know what?
conversation. I ruined it.
I find Maven particularly interesting because he's probably within my son's age range, and I think his bullshit. You know what? I'm not going to even go there. So that would just
Um,
be demeaning.
Concerning our conversation earlier, real quick, I was going to ask you guys because another thing I've noticed with younger people, and I'm going to say 20s, early. Do you notice the language is um? There's no like lukewarm language. It's this is amazing. This is
Yeah,
the most incredible. This is existential. This like the language is so extreme for everything now. There's no just I had a good day. It's I had the most amazing day of my life. Have you both noticed that as well?
Yes,
No.
I often wonder how people can speak in superlatives all the time. You know what amazing means? It means to be amazed or awesome. It means, you know what that means? It means to be
Yeah, I'm
filled
awestruck. I'm
with,
awestruck.
yeah, to be filled with awe, like you're like seeing Jesus or something. It's not everything is amazing, not everything is awesome,
Yeah.
but I think that's just, when I was that age, it was everything's rad or gnarly
Well,
or
I see these shorts, these reels on YouTube occasionally, and it's like this is an absolutely amazing peach cobbler. Okay, all right, just
well, here's
an
the one that I
amazing peach cobbler. Did it do a trick? Did it do a backflip in front of you? That would amaze me. Other than that, it's a pretty, so I
yeah,
just kind
yeah.
of laugh.
My favorite is, hey, the other day, this guy made these chicken sandwiches and he put ketchup and mayo together. It was genius.
It was
Genius? That's
yeah.
your level of
So a
genius?
150 IQ, a 150 IQ. Like, really? By adding ketchup? Yeah, that's
Everything's
kind of what I
genius.
see, and I'm like, come on, man.
It
Like,
was genius.
yeah.
Now
So you got harmless
let me
sentences,
push
and
back just a tad, because I'm always going to go back to parenting.
yeah,
I, I my son, I'm not going to say he's the best wordsmith, but apparently, I honestly believe that America's biggest problem, and I'm sure I'm going to beat that drum again. Um, Parents don't teach kids perspective. That peach cobbler might be amazing if I put a dash of cinnamon in it, but you know what? Let's see how amazing it's going to be if you make the peach cobbler.
I
Yeah,
think
it's
It's
I do.
amazing
Parenting is
because you
definitely
don't
defunct.
know how to make it.
It is defunct, though. It is, and I mean, kids are like my daughter's a teacher. I say it all the time, and it's like, she said that there'll be a behavioral issue, a serious one, and the parents will come in and say, "Well, what'd you do to him? What'd you do to him?" You know, and my daughter's like, "Sir, he threw a stapler at my head. Um, well, what'd you do to him?"
yeah. Well,
It's just not
having been a
good.
teacher, it's one of the good things about COVID was at the school I taught at, and I was responsible for implementing it. We had this really great in-class video camera called Swivel, and I would or any of the teachers would wear a pendant, and that pendant would allow me to talk to the students at home, and the camera would follow me around the room. And I could hit a button and it would show, well, it did both things. It would show the whole room so they could see and hear other students speaking, but it would also follow me around the room. So I had a split screen. And when that happened, we would save those for any students that, for whatever reason, couldn't be in class or were absent. And so when some of these disciplinary things happened, those savvier than anyone about the internet kids forgot you're on camera.
Yeah, no joke.
And it's what'd you do to him? Well, let me just show you what happened. I happen to have it here on video.
That actually might be a great plan for the students, man. Like, like I mean, the right wing is scared of teachers. So, hey, let's put them in the classroom and we can watch it all play out. We'll watch the students and the teachers see how it goes, you know? So you know what I mean?
Oh
Because,
yeah.
the right thinks that they're scared of the teaching community now. They're petrified of it. So
Always
amazing.
have been.
Well, I just
And
find it
it's not the
amusing because I'm like,
it's not the teachers so much as they're afraid of the unions.
yeah,
Well, the school systems are afraid of being sued. That's the biggest thing.
that's true too.
You
I
know,
do know that the administrative end of the education has ballooned, and I mean, they want to get rid of the Department of Ed, which I don't agree with. But I was just looking at the budget, and it's not they're not hiring teachers. I think it's terrible they're not. It's a lot of administrative. It's a very top-heavy organization now,
Yeah.
And I'm like, you can double the teachers. Like the teachers are teaching the kids. That's the important part. So
Yeah,
you can't have a
there's an
classroom of 30
outstanding
kids.
there's an outstanding documentary about what you just said. I forget the name of it, and it's not new. It's probably 10 years old now, and it involved the New Jersey school systems. And they went to the parking lot for the school administration, and it was Beamers and Mercedes in the parking lot, and
Yeah.
the
Yeah, man. Yeah.
number of the administrators was just astronomically exploding.
Yeah. And the teachers aren't meant, the teachers are driving. Or, I mean, some teachers are if a teacher has four kids of their own, or four children, they're likely uh, can get food stamps. They likely can get tremendous amount of government resources based on that. And that's a broken system. That is a broken system.
Well,
You
teachers
know,
put
it,
in huge hours.
they don't make any money. And
They
then
put
people say,
in
"Oh, it's a
yeah. Well,
terrible job. You're on stage
they put
all
in
day."
huge hours. Teachers will
Yeah.
buy supplies and things that the school doesn't have for
Yep.
the student. They'll take it out of their own pocket. Now, teachers, if you stay as a teacher for 20, 30 years, yeah, you're making some okay money by that time. But
It's not money. They got to get
yeah,
for a master's degree.
yeah,
Is it worth it? I mean,
yeah.
5 years of education, and then you got to sit in front of these brats all day, and you're on stage all day. Like it's been. I have a friend that's a teacher also. There's no downtime. It's teaching. You get that you're on stage all day in front of kids all day. It's not like you have an hour and a half to do paperwork, right? Or go not. You're literally engaged all day. So
Yeah, you got to
it's a hard job.
grade 30 tests or essays or whatever overnight, and the rest of it.
Yeah,
It's a lot of
somewhat of a
work.
thankless job for sure.
You also have to do a lesson plan for every single day of class.
Yeah,
That's
that's
not
right.
easy.
Well, and I keep explaining, like my she's new at teaching. She's young, of course, and she's she's taking her own money and buying supplies, and I'm like, listen, don't do that. Well, Dad, blah 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 blah. I'm like, no, don't put anything on the walls. That's the school system's fault. But she still does it, because I think it's a job you take when you actually care. I wouldn't do it. I'm way too self-centered for that. I'd be like, I don't. Nope. I'd be throwing all the kids out of class in just together. I don't care. Like your kid doesn't want to listen, you're out. So,
Yeah,
your kid threw a stapler, you're out. So,
I took a
but
lot of heat for being strict about my classes. I had this thing with the principal, and he was pretty on board with it. I go, look, if I send someone to your class to pick something up for me, you can just you and I will understand that they've acted out in class. And so I remember the first time I did it, the kid went down there. Mr. Gully asked me to come and he needs to pick something up from Principal Peterson. And Principal Peterson, yes, you're here to pick up a better attitude.
that's right. Well, it's not. I've noticed she's talked about the principal some and some of the administrative, and from what I'm hearing, their view is almost keep the kids alive, prevent us from getting a lawsuit, and I don't care if they learn one thing, is kind of the attitude of the administrative
Yeah.
sect of education. From what I'm hearing, I mean, I could be wrong,
No,
but
that's
some
true.
like keep them alive.
That's
We're
true.
going to keep pushing them through, okay? And
At
don't get a
many
suit. And yeah,
at many schools, the administrators don't back up the teachers.
yeah,
There's
Oh my
nothing.
Lord.
that's not good.
Yeah, that isn't good.
Yeah. Well, you do have to be a parent, and my daughter described it as such as the parents almost feel like they're subcontracting a job. When I had my business, I would when you subcontract something, it's just you hand it off and they do everything. They turnkey it. They're from beginning to end, and then you oversee it and you pay them after the fact. So it's almost as if they're subcontracting the job of parenting while the kid is in school, right? Like literally, here's the kid. You deal with them all day. You're going to send him homework. Hopefully he does it. If he doesn't do it, I don't care because I'm busy. And like that's kind of the thing. Instead of the parents being engaged at all in the education of the kid, So
Well, the first year of
sad thing.
COVID, parents found out when their kids had to be home. And, first of
Sucks.
all, they're at work or have to find somebody to take care of them. But even if there's an in-home parent, now you have to do this instruction and the rest of it. And they wanted no part of that.
Yeah, get them back in school. So I mean, as a father, I was somewhat hands off. You bring home the grades, I'll leave you alone. You bring home something stupid, we're going to have a problem. But they knew that was the message. And Stanley, I'm sure you were the same. You bring home something stupid, things are not going to be fun for your life. So,
Well, no, it was a mixed message.
well,
Um,
I'm telling you, they knew. Like, I don't play with
yeah,
education.
oddly enough, uh, I did have to get a little medieval every now and again, but
Yeah,
I will
me too.
also add that, I'm evil enough. Last time I put a hand on my son, he was 2 or whatever diaper age is, probably younger than that. I had to swat a
Well,
diaper because he just wanted to mess with something. But my
yeah,
point is if and I think your children are probably, like this. He would listen. You might have to say it 8 times, but
yeah,
eventually it would soak through his moderately thick head.
yeah. That's
So
right.
it wasn't that bad. But it was always a mixed message. You kind of have to meet, when I say meet a person where he or she is, I actually mean that. You got to
Yeah,
understand where they are in the moment, meet the moment.
yeah. That's true.
So
Yeah,
different message, always within a guardrail, but
yeah.
you know, don't
I
do it
think that's a parent's
canned.
job, is putting
Don't
up the
do don't be
guardrails.
don't be a canned parent.
My older daughter would come home and say, "Well, such and such parents let them do that." Like,
Oh my
listen,
Lord, does
I
that
did.
not drive
Listen,
you crazy?
it would piss me off. Really? Do you want to live with them? Get pack your stuff.
That's always the first thing.
So, well,
Yeah, okay.
such and such got this.
Do they have an extra room? Do they know how
That's
much
right.
you eat?
Well, you're not such and such.
My dad
Yeah,
was
they
always,
always.
"Do I look like Mr. Johnson?"
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
we.
I mean, I always made them do activities like, listen, you're not going to sit around all summer. We're going to do a summer camp. You're going to play, lacrosse. You're going to do swimming. Not forcibly, but just we need to get engaged. I think if you engage kids in activities, it's good. Just let them. I go over some, a friend's house, and the kids are just laying up watching TV all day. You come in the living room, it's like a heroin den. The kids are just laying around you know, I mean, watching the boob tube midsummer. I'm like, what, really? Let's get the kids engaged. So
Well, we talked about the other day, Stanley and I, that the old, you know, you eat your breakfast and then your mom just goes, "Get out of the house. I don't want to see you back here till lunch."
yeah, see you later. Yep.
And
Well, with my mother, why is your nose always in a book?
I got that too, Stanley.
She was an English teacher.
Yeah, I got that too. Many times I would go out into the top of our mini barn and just read books, and then come in for lunch, and then
Yeah.
maybe go out and play with the friends and stuff. But and then when you see the street
That's an
lights,
interesting point.
when you see the street,
I have a question after you're done.
well, when you see the street lights come on, come home.
Yep, yep, yep. Playing football in the street.
Yep. Yeah.
How did you become an athlete if you were that bookish? Did your parents teach the balance? Because mine
Oh,
mine did.
my parents cared zero about athletics. None.
Really?
Zero.
Yes,
Yeah. I
both
was
my
the
parents.
only
Yep.
only one of my brothers that ever did anything sports wise. And it was I would read at night, I would read sometimes in the mornings, and then in the afternoons is when all the kids came out and we would play football, or we'd go over. We had what my dad called the athletic field. Go do that over
Mhm.
we couldn't play sports in our yard. Go to the athletic field,
Oh,
which was
really?
over. It was an elementary
What, would
school.
you ruin the grass or what?
Yes, our grass was
Oh, really?
copiously perfect at all times. Don't get me into our
Oh, my Lord.
lawn
Wow.
and garden duties. Oh yes, it was. We mowed our lawn in a pattern.
Oh, yeah.
Up and down one time, side to side the next time, catty cornered the next time, catty cornered the other. Our front lawn looked like
Wow.
the outfield at Wrigley Field, yeah. But we'd go over to this elementary school that was attached to a bunch of baseball diamonds and a football field and that kind of stuff. And that's where we would all go in outdoor basketball court was there. But we played basketball. A lot of people had a court in their driveway. We'd play in those too. But yeah, they really didn't. They took us all to Little League and went to the Little League games and stuff, but they didn't really have much. There was no emphasis on really
Oh, look
anything
at
other
this.
than getting your chores done.
Mhm. Yeah, look at this. It's just, you know what? This dude is. I shouldn't be even looking at it, but this is rather interesting. It's a stupid title because everyone is ignorant. It should say bellicose and ignorant. Otherwise, it's an ignorant title, respectfully.
I
I don't
can't
even know
wait
what that
for.
means. It's a word salad.
I cannot wait for
Dirty. Sorry.
Palomino Ricky Z to become the next Mr. Beast. It
No, I'm
really.
trying to figure
He's
out
got
why that title is ignorant.
so much knowledge and knows so much about how to do this, and so much free advice that it really, he should get
Hey,
on that.
just dirty dude is royalty, in my opinion. You live in is it where is that place? It's Greenbrier.
Oh,
He's a resident. No,
oh,
I'm kidding.
is that South Carolina, the Greenbrier?
No. Greenbrier, West Virginia. Isn't that like a huge resort or used to be?
Yes, my parents used to go to it. In fact,
Really?
I think they have one of the old nuclear like
Yeah.
safe
Yeah.
houses or whatever
Yeah.
underneath it. Yeah, my parents used to go there. It had no television. It was, yeah, that's where they would go for vacation.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah. They loved it. Absolutely loved it.
I'll bet they did. So I'm kidding. Good to see you, dirty dude. I haven't seen you in a while. So I this is the perfect conversation. I get to wander and ramble. I don't get to do that often.
I'm doing Bigfoot today.
Oh no, well, aren't there? Are you doing any of the TV shows? Because you remember it used to come up in
Yeah.
TV shows.
Yeah,
Sasquatch.
in search of all that stuff.
Hmm.
There's no Bigfoot. Please.
Oh, I never thought there was, but
Yeah, it's
Loch Ness monster. You've been searching for.
I will be going heavily into the legendary Patterson Gimlin footage of Bigfoot, which when I'm done, you people that believe in it won't believe in it anymore. And then tomorrow is the Wild Wild West, and then Wednesday is the invention and implementation of color television.
Okay, now that I might have to show on this show.
It's a very fascinating story. It is
Really?
here in the
Well,
United States, especially.
Get Crack's an electrical engineer. Do you know Crack has a PhD in electrical engineering?
Yeah,
He
I
used to teach it.
that laugh alone, he would be escorted out of any meeting I've ever been in.
I think he could be better behaved.
He was saying some
It's a
stuff.
YouTube show.
He was saying some stuff earlier last night that I was just all capsing responses in the thing. I'm like, you have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. Minerals are the future, bro. And it's like minerals have always been a thing of very high importance.
What
it,
the
it
fuck do you think this computer is made of?
Well, no, that was his point, though. Is it certain minerals for this and for that? And it's like, yeah, but they'll find something else. Since Iron Age, Bronze Age, I
Right.
mean, those
Oh my lord.
minerals, all of that stuff has always been super important. And
Now, but here's the deal. He's an engineer. That motherfucker. Now, actually, he does read, but science fiction. Um, engineers are a very particular breed.
yeah,
They're not. They're not rhetoricians.
well, it's just, do you not know history? Look, the minerals we now think are important, if we have, like, say the United States couldn't get some minerals from Chile or from the Ukraine or someplace, we would find another mineral or start manufacturing or do something. But that argument is silly. There is nothing on this earth that can't
Here,
be,
oh
it's,
my lord, you make such a good point. Sorry,
no, no, that's
I
just that
exclaimed.
that's the point. That's the point, is that if you can't get it, you'll use something else. The Eastern Bloc, they didn't have the minerals or whatever that we have here to do gold inlay and things like that, and fill in cavities. So they used other things. Those things weren't as good, and then they figured
Mhm.
out a way to make them better. That's the
Right.
way the world works. There's not
And
one mineral.
people, this is why they should know history. God damn it. History gives you perspective, if nothing else.
Yeah, it's potash creates nitrate. We get a lot of ours from Canada. I guarantee you, if we couldn't get it, potash plants would be springing up in this country like at warp speed. That's the way we will either replicate it, we will find something else, or we will improve upon it if we can't get it. That's the way it is. And by the way, all the things that we think are the things we really need right now, that won't be that way forever. It will eventually change. Someone will find a different mineral, or they'll find something that we can manufacture, or instead of having to dig from the
Right.
ground. That's the way
Or
it's always been.
synthesize it. I mean, a lot of
Yeah,
elements are
that's what
actually
I'm. That's
synthesized.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Oh, I
Right.
said Ryan saying, "Let me up." I think
Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at something else.
What are you guys talking about potash for?
because that's where nitrate comes from.
Yeah,
All
it's
right,
there's a
I
whole
missed the whole thing.
there's a whole fertilizer industry that I did not know about before Red Sea deployment.
Well, half of it's
Shit.
Ukrainian. A lot of fertilizer is
Yeah, oh
Ukrainian.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. We get a lot of ours from Canada. By the way, and people might not believe this, there are vast expanses of the United States that have, we are very mineral rich. It's just
Yeah.
we've decided we don't want to, do this or that to the land that we have. But if
Yeah,
you,
the environmental lobby actually checks a lot of this bullshit. We have rare earth
yeah,
minerals in the U.S.
there's areas
Well,
that haven't even
well,
been mapped, for crying out loud.
with some of the stuff though, we do like it's more for us to pull it out of the ground than it is to buy it from other places. And oil's one of them. Like it's cheaper for us to buy oil than it is to make oil or extract oil in some instances.
Yeah,
A lot of people don't understand that like oil is traded in and out of the country all the time by companies. They think that the U.S. does it. Like no, Exxon does it. It's BP does it. They bid on contracts to do it.
yeah. Arco,
People talk about this stuff.
yeah. It's,
Yeah,
yeah,
Arco. I mean, all of them. You know,
yeah.
you know. I
It's,
mean, the companies want the drilling rights. The companies want it, not the government. The government is allowing it or not allowing it, but Biden closed our oil. Well, no, he closed it to our companies or companies to extract. And by the way,
Right.
other companies will extract on our. They'll bid on stuff that's ours per se, right? So it's just it's a lot of our setup for minerals. It's cheaper to pull it out of Mexico and bring it up here than to cut into the land and do. You're talking about a major excavation to get down into some of this stuff.
well, or just
So
or just the setup. to do it, to
Everything.
find,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's, but if we have a problem getting something that we need, innovation will spring up and someone will figure out a better way with a different thing, or
That's right.
we'll figure out a way to get it. We will. That's the way it's worked since the beginning of time. And so when people go, hey, bro, minerals are the future. If we don't have rights over there, if we can't get this, we're done. No, we're not. We're really not.
Well, I tell everyone there's an initiative from 2018 where Joe Manchin was a big part of it, actually, and where they looked at strategically what minerals do we need, because so like for a lot of our war making effort, you got to have certain minerals, right? And ships, frankly. And they identified 34 minerals that are critical minerals for national defense, and we've been securing them from all over the world since. China's definitely ahead of the game with us, I mean, for sure, but we've got a lot of rights to a lot of minerals ourselves, and we're still working on it. So I mean, there's a whole commission within government on that, and the U.S. Geological Survey.
Yeah, well, then that's a great point, because this is another thing that it's like, you do realize there are teams, not just one guy, teams of experts working on this.
Oh, look at this. I have to highlight this.
Sure.
CKJ3, are you implying that people from the same environment can't have different opinions? Because that implies people are just environment.
What?
That is one of the dumbest motherfucking things. People are just environment. Wow, this dude is talented.
What is the debate over?
What
I mean, we
the
are about.
fuck does that mean?
Yes, Cracked yesterday was pointing out how he told someone to buy something at a low price and sell it at a high price, and I went, "Wow, there's a concept." That's like, maybe you have to have the insight to look into that market and know, what thing to buy. But buy low, sell high has been around for a little while now.
I'm gonna have to insist. Crack is smart. He is smart.
And he's not a fundamental. He's not a fundamentals guy.
I don't
He
give a
looks
shit
at.
about his investing strategies or any of that bullshit.
The
I'm saying as a person to talk to, he would be on this conversation and blend in and make smart points.
He's a smart guy for sure.
First of all,
And
the stock market is
would
gambling.
be 12 man level dumb.
It's a nicer form of gambling, but it's gambling. And that's fine.
Yeah,
that's fine. That is absolutely fine. But when you say, okay, pretend I say a smart point. It doesn't happen often, but pretend I say a smart point and then I go, I'm out. I'm just out. I'm out.
Come on. There is joy, Tom.
It's
a deep belly laugh.
If you laugh like Roger Rabbit, I can't listen to you and consider you seriously.
Oh, come on. Be kind.
I know.
Stanley, you just literally said that's a 12th man level dumb, and now you're saying be kind. Like,
oh, no. I was talking to Palomino.
Yeah.
No, he is 12th man level dumb. He is 12th level.
That's not very kind, is my point. That's not very kind.
Life isn't fair.
Well,
life isn't kind.
I just come back to that point where he was talking about engineers. They have to sell them on, we're going to the moon or we're going to the Mars, because they knew if they were making missiles and rockets, they wouldn't do it. And I'm like, are you insane? First of all, our space program was started by guys who were shooting U-bombs into Britain. Yes. They were warmongering Nazis. Second of all, you think engineers aren't smart enough to know what the things they create will do? Yes, it could be used for Amazon drones. It could also be used for a ballistic missile. They're not that dumb. They know what their technology will do.
Yeah, well, von Braun.
Dr. Werner von Braun.
If the Russians got him, people are like, well, we had a Nazi. Well, it's not. We were like, let's get this guy before the Russians get him so we can get his brain to do this shit for us.
Yeah.
I mean, we did beat them. We beat the hell out of the Nazis, but
You
if the
know
Russians
what?
got him,
I'm
we'd
gonna
be behind.
propose. Now, I am getting a little weird here, but I'm gonna propose just shedding on Palomino just for the fun of it. So laugh
See?
dictates intelligence. Who the
Everything
fuck
dictates
even?
intelligence.
Who implied? Hey, it could.
If you say something smart while picking your nose and eating it, it makes it difficult. I'm not saying impossible to take it seriously.
Now, this is even better. Prove me wrong about my CKJ3 comment, Stanley. Why
I
would
don't know what you're talking
Stanley
about.
prove your comment wrong? There is a CKJ3 who is probably way smarter than you are. Horsey boy.
That comment is such a duck fighting a monkey in a bathtub that who wants
Now
to.
this is kindergarten level.
Yeah, it's
I
Prove
don't
me
even know what
wrong
you're
about
talking
my
he
CKJ3
he's a
comment,
garden
Stanley.
he's a garden variety troll with nothing better to do, and
Well,
I envy his free time. But do a show, man. Go do a show. Bless the world with that. You're
crack
too.
Crack is an engineer. Yes, thank you for that.
about. Palomino probably is crack. It probably is him.
I'm sure
No.
Crack's a nice guy. I've
No,
been
I'm
with him
pretty sure
before, and
that's
he's.
Maven.
Oh, is it? Okay. I don't know.
I think it is.
I'm
There's
pretty
a
sure.
skit.
Crack has a very different style of writing,
Oh, okay.
and if he gets frustrated, he'll just come up and talk. Crack, he's an engineer by nature. Some of that bullshit, like I agree with Tom. Engineers don't know what they're engineering. That's
Yeah.
bullshit.
Well, that and
Sometimes.
you know,
Sometimes.
it's. I'm sure he's a really nice guy, and
Oh, he's a great. I will vouch for Crack. He's a
but
great guy.
but some of those things he was saying were just like, come on,
He was
man.
probably high and see. This is the other thing.
What percentage
I
of people are
think.
on drugs, Stanley? I think it's like 90.
Oh, I don't really care. Crack is supposedly rich, so who cares?
There's been a
But
lot. No, no,
I
not
want
crack. I
to. I
mean,
want to
the dealers.
obviously. One of the weirdest things is that talking to smart people or smarter people actually makes you smarter.
I agree.
Talking to Palomino boy does not make you smarter. You come up to my level, bitch, not the other way around.
Hey, good morning,
Well,
PhD.
gentlemen. Good morning. Good morning, Stanley.
hola, hola, hola,
Good morning, Ryan. Good morning.
hola.
Good
How's it
morning.
going, fellas? Tom Gully, salute, man. How's it going,
Well,
fellas?
I was
Good.
just saying. I was just going to say that I'm finding there's a lot of pro drug, and I don't mean just drug. I mean like pro drug
I don't
stuff.
give a fuck about drugs.
Well,
Um,
it's just I'm just kind of getting. I'm gonna like.
now
Uh,
we
it's
were
not a good
talking
message.
about, dude. What's not a good? Are they advertising pot on TV or what?
No, no. I mean on
They
some of the
do. They
streams, some
do
of the streams.
advertise the what is it? The THC stuff.
Yes.
So maybe is
Which
that implicit advertising?
well, I noticed it in on streams. First off,
Mm.
secondly, in media, and I mean marijuana. If you get home and smoke a joint or drink a beer, it is what it is, right? Like I don't care. But I think a lot of young people think that they could smoke weed wire to wire all day and be successful. And I
Well, they
just
smoke it. They smoke it on the show.
on the streams, they're smoking it on the TV. And I'm like, listen, man, if you want to, like, if you are just getting high all day, and I've had these arguments recently, I'm like, look, if you're not
With
getting anywhere
whom?
in life, for example, Orthodox guy, I'm like, listen, if you're going to get
Oh,
high all
Orthodox
day,
is an idiot.
well, and
That you. He should not be taken seriously. You know,
well, I just think,
he's a cartoon character,
like I said,
much like Palomino Ricky Z.
Wait,
well, I
wait,
said,
Orthodox. Wait,
like,
Ryan. Orthodox guy is a pothead.
Well, yeah, we've
No,
argued about it. I'm like,
Orthodox guy is a cartoon.
I don't know what he is, but I know
Yeah,
that
yeah,
I've been arguing with people, and I'm like, look, if you're a young person and you're not getting anywhere in life, try less drug use and more.
yeah.
I think the thing is,
More
pot
hard work.
pot should be viewed, in my opinion, like beer. If you get home and drink a beer, smoke a joint, it's one thing, but you can't habitually use it and expect to be successful, just like alcohol, you know.
Yeah.
So use it to unwind if you choose, but it does cause brain damage. Like it's fucking true.
Well,
It
let
does.
me take it back to where should you learn about what's what with beer and pot?
I mean,
Um,
parents maybe.
uh, oh no, maybe. So
Yeah.
I just
Well,
wanted to point
the
that out.
school,
Orthodox, no. School
school
is
too.
there to educate, not to make people.
I guess when I was young, they said, "Listen, man, this is going to kill some brain cells if you do it." And
Yeah.
I don't think young people get
Well,
that message.
everything
Like,
kills brain cells. Living
uh,
Yeah,
kills brain cells.
Stanley, the thing is, like, I never smoked weed like in high school. My mom wasn't going for none of that shit. But once
yeah,
I got to college, that's when I, that's
You
when it
know
started.
what? She became more an advisor than a parent. Your mother sounds wise. Now I am gonna have to. I haven't talked to my son in a few days, so I'm gonna
Oh
have to
yeah,
see how he's doing. However, I'm his advisor.
yeah.
Dude, you got the work. You did the work to get into college. Your mother's probably smarter than you are.
My
Hey,
mom,
I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna call you every day and ask what you doing.
yeah. No, Ryan. The thing I don't like about weed is like the promotion of it and how people try
it's
to like,
promoted, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah,
I kind of hate that.
yeah, it's
Um,
annoying.
How's it promoted?
Huh, shit.
you remember when I was talking about that movie, the Day of the Jackal.
Yeah.
Like after I got done watching that movie, I wanted to smoke a cigarette because
Well,
everybody in that movie was
oh,
fucking smoking a cigarette, bro. It was like
Yeah.
it was
well, wait,
killing me.
hold it. Was there a was there a new version of Day of the Jackal? That's a '70s movie. Frederick
Right? No,
Forsyth,
no,
I
no.
think.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. The '70s version. In the '70s version, literally
Mhm.
everybody was smoking a cigarette. Even the love interest lady
Oh
sparked up
yeah.
a
Yeah.
cigarette.
Yeah.
Even she
Yeah.
sparked one up. And
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think back then, like the propaganda of smoking was a lot more prevalent. It's not as I guess covert as it is now, but you do see it though.
I got to
I
make
see
my
it in a lot
call.
of movies
I'll be
and
back.
shows, man.
Tom,
Okay.
always
Salute,
appreciated whenever you
salute,
hang
Tom.
out. Tom has obligations. He
Yeah.
parental obligations and all that shit. Let me know when you want to end this show. Uh,
Didn't you just start
yeah,
this show?
yeah, but it was an interim show.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
But
No,
yeah, so HB, you see what I'm saying? I'll see it like you'll just be watching a show. A guy will walk outside, and hey, he'll light up a J, hand it off,
yeah.
and they sit there and
Especially
talk and smoke weed. And I'm like, that's just new. I mean, maybe the last 5 years, right? You
no.
know.
I think it's been like since the early 2000s. It's really been promoted, like
Okay.
media wise, like
Yeah.
smoking weed. Like you remember that '70s show?
Yes.
that
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
that every time they did that circle, that was them
Yeah.
smoking
That was
weed
them
in the
getting high. Yeah, that's
yeah
true.
yeah. So man,
But there, I was. It's funny because I'll hear about it and hear about it, and you'll see it. And then I was driving up the road and I saw this billboard that was like, if you smoke cigarettes, like it was very anti-cigarette. And I'm like, all right, so look, we're promoting weed at every level across the board, but cigarettes cause cancer? Like, I'm pretty sure weed isn't great either. The last I checked, it's got a lot of
yeah
shit in it also, right? And but they seem to be at war with cigarettes. They're charging $8 tax a pack. I think a pack of cigarettes now is like $12, but
Yeah.
weed, that's perfectly healthy, which it's not. It kills brain cells. I mean, just like booze does, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I just noticed it's a lot more prevalent, and in a sense, we're not giving any public service announcements about how it's bad, or I'm sorry about the negative effects. I don't mean bad, but I mean I think weed's less damaging than alcohol. Personally, I think it's less damaging to the I mean when I smoke weed in like on the highway, I'm driving about 30, but if I was drinking, I'd drive about 100 mile an hour, right? I'm going 30 looking out for cops and shit. I'm like, wow, I'm flying, man. So, but drunk, you drive crazy, right? But so I don't think, you know,
I'm one of those
um,
drivers. I'm one of those drinkers. I could kind of drive better drunk a little bit.
Yeah, everyone thinks that until you don't.
Nah,
Let
nah,
me
nah,
add,
nah.
Ryan, this just popped into my head, and you're probably the perfect person to ask. The reason people, men in particular, should get married earlier is you know, it in theory imposes responsibility on you.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one, Stanley.
So it's obviously not original, but I was
Yeah,
listening to you talk about HB talking about you know I drive better when I'm drunk. Yeah, I
yeah,
used to
yeah,
think that too. And
yeah, yeah,
motherfucker, I never thought that. It's like you ask a lot of what ifs once you have a child. It's like
yeah, yeah.
so.
Nah,
For sorry for imposing that boring point.
no, 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 no. I honestly agree too. I just always knew, like, even when I was younger, like, man, I just never wanted to be a baby daddy, man. Like I
Oh, no
just,
one does. Well, no one does. Well,
yeah,
I
no, no, yeah.
I'm
Don't say
sorry. I
that. Don't
take
say
that back.
that.
I take that back.
Don't say that. There's a lot of guys. That's their goal to
My
be a
bad.
baby daddy. I know a lot
Yeah,
of guys.
goddamn forgot.
Yeah. So, but I do agree, man. Like I think guys that don't want to have kids, even if you just want to wait till you're financially stable before you have kids, but like guys that just don't want to have kids, that's like a
How many guys do you meet? Like, I never. You know what? It was. You remember Love and Marriage or whatever it was Married with Children.
yeah, 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 yeah.
The Frank Sinatra song "Love and Marriage."
Hmm.
There's some things that are kind of implied. Um, Now this is going to sound old fashioned too, but you know, you get married to have a family.
Right, right. That's why I can't really, like, if you just never met the right woman, I kind of understand that too, you know.
Right? Yeah.
But
Don't do it wrong.
right,
Don't do
but
it just because you need some pussy.
yeah, right, 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 right. But if you just guys that just don't want to have kids, I don't know, man. That's a little weird to me. I don't think those guys are a little, I don't know, maybe psychotic or something. I don't know.
Hmm.
It's little.
CK, hit the link if you want. I don't think I put a link anywhere in this. HB, if you
Yeah.
want to go off on your show, we went over 12 hours on John's show.
Okay, okay, okay.
So I just, took over. I happened to wake up overnight. I wasn't feeling well last night.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You
I'm
might
I'm
have caught
good.
my code. You caught my code,
No,
Stanley.
it's not a cold. It was just I was doing too much, and sometimes when you're old. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
what I was gonna say is I happened to wake up and Solid Snake was going, and I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And so I joined the show, and then Tom hopped up, and it got to be, kind of a, a really interesting conversation, and
What were you
so
guys talking about?
oh, everything.
Okay,
He
okay.
talked about advertising, which is fascinating. I asked him if Mad Men was kind of real, and he said it was extremely real, very realistic.
Yeah.
So we just kind of drifted, which is what I'm naturally good at. Just fucking. Um,
Just
Maybe I'm not
flowing
so
with it.
good at this. Driving the conversation as much as having people up here that are interesting.
Yeah, 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 yeah. No, Tom is a very interesting guy.
So is Ryan, actually.
Yeah, no, no. Ryan is, I don't know, man. Ryan is one of those guys that I don't know. I really like Ryan's story, man. He just a true rags to riches type of guy, and he's yeah, he's a little autistic, but I don't know, man.
I
Ryan's
don't think
good.
he's autistic at all. Look, I've met people who were economists or people who are trained. You don't go to, they don't draw you to the flame.
Hmm.
You build your own flame. Economists and people who are that business focused, and John, in a way, is like that. They're
Yeah, yeah,
weird.
yeah,
They
yeah,
are
yeah, yeah, yeah,
weird.
yeah, yeah.
They are autistic in their own sort of way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's why I kind of
It's
that's
like,
why I kind of
motherfucker, everything's a transaction.
yeah.
No, it's not.
That's why I kind of like admire Ryan too, because I'm so like scatterbrained, Stanley. Like my mind goes in every which direction, and some like Ryan, he's like you could just tell he gets like really hyper focused on one thing, and I don't know, man. I just
Oh,
kind
okay. I get your earlier point. Yeah, okay. I
of
get you.
oh, what are CKJ and Mavid talking about?
Motherfucker. Well, Mavid's being his usual idiocy.
Ah, good morning, Mavid.
He's exhibiting it. CKJ, that motherfucker's flying back from goddamn Jekyll Island, Georgia. Um, Mavid has probably never taken any sort of plane ride. Look, no, 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 no. But let me tell you about this Navy man. This motherfucker flew his family down for, was it gymnastics, CK? Let me know. But that motherfucker went to Jekyll Island, flew a family. Do you know how expensive that shit is?
Hey man, that's why he.
And then
Uh,
he's coming back today. Monday's a work day. Motherfucker doesn't have to work. He's flying back. Yet Mavid is challenging this.
what's wrong with taking your family on a vacation?
Oh, nothing wrong. Oh, no, no, I'm not saying that. The man can do it, is my
Oh
point.
yeah, yeah,
The motherfucker,
yeah. No,
he probably didn't even blink. It's like, eh, this is what we're going to do.
yeah. Nah,
Being
CKJ's another.
that
He's
is
another guy.
freedom.
Yeah, nah,
Freedom is having a goal for you or your family, being able to accomplish it and get back to your home safely. Freedom is achieving goals.
yeah, yeah.
And
Nah,
in my opinion, old man that I am, CKJ is the best the Navy produces. Motherfuckers, we are.
yeah, nah. CKJ's one of those guys too. I really admire that guy, man. CKJ's like I don't know, man. He's
A
a.
genius.
I think he's down to business, isn't he?
I
I
don't
think
even
that
know if it's.
motherfucker might be a genius.
I don't even know if it's a
He
genius. I
reminds
think
me of my father, by the way.
yeah, yeah. He's just he has that. He's like very like paternal.
Nope. He is just like my father.
He-
And god damn it, And that's the highest compliment I can give, sir.
CKJ
So
is like a
I think
he's like a man's man, you know. There's like not a pussy bone in him.
I think he's a no nonsense kind of guy, from what I hear.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah. He's like an old school guy, man.
Yeah.
He's a young
you know
old school
what? But
guy.
I bet he will have tea with his daughters if they do. That is a Renaissance man is a better term, in my opinion. So
Yeah,
salute to you, CKJ.
yeah, yeah. Oh, Kelvin, come on, Kelvin. Relax, man. Relax.
I don't know what a Mavid is. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna watch this trout video. God damn it. I've been wanting to for a while. Would y'all mind?
Yeah, yeah. Go
That
ahead, go ahead.
was short. Oh, by the way, this is in Atlanta somewhere. So guess what? Me and my son, or just me, will do. Now these
The
brown,
Chattahoochee
it's
River is
spot trout.
probably the most overlooked trout river in the country, maybe in the world.
I don't
Here
think
we
it's
are
cold
surrounded
water
by
though.
6 million people, the greater metro area. Everybody drives over the river twice a day,
You're no right one
and
there.
surely there can't be any fishing in your backyard. It's too good to be true.
When I get people out on the boats and I try to tell people, educate people about the browns and the rainbows, most of the rainbows they're a hatchery fish.
Is that a banjo?
Yep,
Most of them, but all the
because there
browns up here
is
between
no
Buford
cold
Dam
water.
on down through Jones
Man,
are
could he have the
all
background music any
wild.
louder, Stanley?
They're all born and bred.
Oh, well, it's not. I'm sorry.
No, no, I'm saying him. He have the
Oh,
background music
well,
any
we
louder?
probably watched enough, and to be honest, it's probably going to break
Oh no, 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 no,
some.
no, no, no. That's just somebody playing the banjo. I think we're okay.
Well, it's probably him playing it. But you know what? It is motherfucking March, and I might want to be on a river somewhere.
Oh yeah, you
I,
got a
I
birthday. You got a birthday coming up soon, right?
I've heard
Oh shit.
already fearing that bullshit. 60 is a good thing.
We might gotta you might gotta post your PO box, man. Maybe to send you a box full of shit.
I'm not consuming anything Mavid would send.
Send
It's
you some
probably cyanide.
send you a box full of horse shit.
Oh, no problem, right? Ryan, and yeah, we don't have to play this, and you can end this show. I will join your next panel.
Okay, okay,
But
okay.
let me know when. Like I said, this was kind of an interim show. Now, one thing I am interested in, CKJ talks about John talking about his father.
Yeah.
I am
Oh yeah,
interested in
yeah.
that.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Man, and I think, Stanley, that is another thing that I'm actually really blessed to have that aspect of my family
Mhm.
because I am maybe like one of three conservatives in my family. I have a cousin, older cousin that's a conservative,
You're
and I
not
have
that conservative.
no, 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 no. But just like, openly vote for Trump, like and everybody else in my family is, I mean, lifelong Democrats, voters.
Yeah, but there is a comment that blacks are the most conservative voters in the Democratic Party.
What does
Um,
that mean? What does that mean?
it literally means blacks are the most to the right in the voter base.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Blacks
I
don't
agree. I agree with that.
do that trans bullshit. I've and I don't. You know what? I don't care so much, but they don't talk about trans in black churches, do they?
Not that I've seen. Not that I've seen.
Okay, Blacks, the and I've made this point before. Blacks don't vote Republican en masse because Republicans tolerate the
Right. Yeah.
overt racists.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
need to, as soon as Trump calls, someone like, well, motherfucker, Trump has Elon Musk as co-president, and Elon
Yeah.
Musk is racist,
Yeah.
and so
No.
is Trump, for that
Well,
matter.
well, well. Just to get back to John's dad aspect. What?
No,
What?
what I wanna complete is that Republicans will get a lot more black votes. They'll be much more competitive when they stop embracing David Dukes.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, John has an interview come up Friday
Yeah.
with
With Kessler.
fucking. I'm not going to watch it.
Oh, come on, Stanley. You know you
No,
gotta watch
I
that.
wouldn't even consider watching it.
Ah, come on, Stanley. You gotta at least throw
No,
some
I don't.
soft
No, I don't.
some
I will
questions towards
do.
them.
I will do what I think is right.
You at least gotta throw
Now,
some questions.
I'm not saying no one else should. I
Yeah.
literally said I'm not going to.
Stanley, I
Well,
think.
well,
Go ahead,
well
Avery.
yeah, yeah,
Oh
no,
well, you're
because
here.
well, because the what I wanted to say though, Stanley, is like, and I think this is a big issue in the black families a lot of time with kind of what John is going through, because I've definitely seen it a lot in black families. But luckily in my family, like my dad, he's like apolitical. He doesn't care about politics at all. But my mom and the rest of my family, they're super liberal, but they all know,
What's super liberal? Define
well,
that.
okay, not super liberal. They just vote
Are
for
they
because you're
voting for Bernie Sanders?
no,
See,
no, 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 no,
people
no.
people
You're right.
throw
You're right.
around super liberal. Is that a
You're no, no,
buzzword?
no. You're right. You're right. You're right. They're Democratic voting conservatives, very conservative family, but they vote Democrat. And I'm kind of the opposite, where I'm more, I'm a little bit more liberal to a certain extent, but I vote Republican. But none of them like hold it
Well,
against me.
you have a high tolerance for racist whites, like Be Brave. And
But
not
but,
you
but
specifically, but it tends to be the blacks who are MAGA tend to have
yeah.
a very he didn't really mean that. He was making a joke.
But I think within the blacks though, there are a lot of blacks who they have a very low tolerance of black Republicans, and I think that's kind of where John is
Okay,
at.
because you know what? The problem is black Republicans are almost um Glenn Lowry or Thomas Sowell, that ilk might be the most conservative of the black conservatives.
Mhm.
Sometimes listening to someone like Enrico, whatever his name was, for the terrorist group,
Yeah.
um, they are. It's almost like trans uh, story hour. They're very performative. Byron Donalds, very performative. I'm a I- I'm a MAGA black, and I'm gonna do a show in a barbershop. I'm gonna be performative. Motherfucker, do the work. We don't need to see you. Do what you profess to do. You don't have to be on TV.
Hey, well, I just want to say hey to Lily. Hey, Lily. Good morning, Lily.
What's up,
Good morning,
Lily?
John. Good morning, John.
What's going on,
So
everybody?
Hold on.
let's hear what you have to say.
Who, me? Oh, I forgot what I was about to say. No, I think the interview with Jason Kessler would be interesting. But, if we get him talking about like the how it actually happened. You know what I'm saying? I followed that quite a bit. Hell, I went to Charlottesville twice after just to see, you know, where it all happened, all that kind of shit. And as I think about it, it seemed like J6 to me, to be quite honest with you. There was some
Yeah.
government, they kind of let it happen, you know what I'm saying? And there was a black government in place, you know, very
Where
democratic.
was it? Not in Charlottesville.
Was it not Charlottesville? Okay, Richmond. Sorry, you're right. Richmond was the city
Okay,
where.
Charlottesville
Right.
is literally, and
Yeah.
the only reason I know this is, believe this or not, I know where Charlottesville
Yeah.
is. It's an hour, if not more, away from Richmond,
Mhm.
and it is kind of mountainy.
Yeah, we went to the Trump winery and all that there.
Do not say it is Democratic.
Well, I think it's a fairly liberal leaning city. I will say that.
It's a college town.
Yeah, well,
University of
yeah.
Virginia is there.
But the bigger point is that you can
He
blame it.
didn't march in Richmond for a reason, because he would have what he wanted to do. And you know what? I haven't seen the video, so I am kind of predicting. You don't go to college towns, even if University of Virginia is like marching through Athens, Georgia.
Yeah, I can't. You know,
Georgia
honestly,
tend to be fairly liberal.
you know,
Even no, I need to finish this point. He did it to be provocative,
yeah. He'll tell you why. I'm sure. I think.
and I don't give a shit.
Well, I think it had to do with the Thomas Jefferson statue or something like that. You know, he'll tell us more.
It
Why?
was, but
John.
it was more about the Robert E. Lee statue.
Yeah, Robert E. Lee, definitely.
John,
Robert E. Lee is not Thomas Jefferson.
Well,
John,
I mean, go ahead.
John, I think too, leading up to this interview, you should play some videos and stuff about him, just in case people don't know who he is, and maybe you know, kind of warm the audience up to him.
Yeah. In case, you know, a lot of
Who
people
cares about that?
a lot of people may
I'm
not
more
remember.
interested, at least on this segment, and we can always transition to HB's purview.
We're getting
I
there.
want to know. I want to hear the segment of your show last night about you and your father's relationship, or you can talk about it now.
Yeah, no, that's interesting, man. You know, I didn't know it, but my cousin, you know, I don't think he mentioned it on the stream. I think we ended the stream by the time he mentioned it. But yeah, that's what he told me. I was like, damn, that's surprising. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's
what surprised you.
And John, that was my thing too. You know, a lot of blacks aren't really tolerant to more, you know, conservative thoughts from black folks.
Okay, let's. My question is, what was your father's relationship to you? Might help me understand you more, John.
Oh yeah, we had a very, very, very close relationship. You know, throughout my life, you know, when I've been away from Alabama.
Is he still around?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But he's very, very, very pro-black, to the point of being anti-white. And here's the thing, in a small town like Alabama, you know, where
Did he grow up during Jim Crow?
He born in 48, so probably so, I guess, right?
Oh yeah.
So, do you understand why he might be slightly?
I'm not saying yay and nay. You know, it is. You know, I'm not trying to change his opinion, but what I find is interesting is the more and more I think about it. You remember I talked to you about T's channel, right? Or the T statement. You know, my father's like that. You know, his mother's basically white, which would be my grandmother, and so he's very, very fair skinned. And so he has more animosity toward white people than say my mother, who's dark skinned, who likely had it rougher in the South, because he's kind of in the middle, you know, as opposed to clearly being on one side. Nigga, you know, you're a nigga, right? So proceeded, but you're kind of in the middle, you know what I'm saying? And so he's very anti-white. But living in a small town, and where the racial relations, as you probably know in your small town, they aren't bad. This shit really is in the inner cities where there's competition for resources, bumping on them
Yes.
on the trains and shit like that.
Yep.
So he's had good relations with white people.
Well, but that's a South thing.
Right. And so it's kind of the dichotomy here is like, you've never had any bad, at least in the last 40 years, and I know I've never heard him say that white man did this to me, did that to me. He never worked for anyone. He always worked for himself. So he didn't have the employment struggles of white people, of blacks that may complain about working with whites, dealing with whites. But it seemed to be mostly political for me that it's hardened him. And that,
But let me,
mm,
John, I want you to finish, but my next question is where is the dichotomy? I,
mm,
well, no, I want you to finish what you're saying, but is there really a dichotomy? I don't think there is.
well, and I think it's in the head a lot of
Mhm.
times.
Yeah,
You-
absolutely.
right? If you're being fed a full course diet of racism, like
From
you,
where? The media?
wherever you get it from,
Okay, did your father have a diet from the media? He
I'm sure
might
he did.
have personal experience.
Very well could, but he has never
Okay,
expressed that to me.
and that's the difference. It's not so much a dichotomy as much as your father might know more about it than you.
I tell you some examples. I remember my
Okay, I need you to focus on the point.
yeah,
Your
yeah,
father might know more about this
very well
stuff
could.
than you.
Very well could, and as I say, I'd like to talk to older people, so I've talked to him about the older days and the genealogy and stuff like that. Just try to pick his brain as to what he knows. But again, it's like T. Like he's educated. He went to college. He's never had to suffer more than was normal. Lived a normal life. But deep down, there is that feeling of vengeance, as if you know, my people were taken advantage of, and I came out looking like this. It's kind of the same way T
Well,
expressed
that's
himself.
essentially self hatred.
Very well could be. Very well
Well,
could
no,
be.
it probably is.
But I think it manifests itself, at least in my father and
You
some of these other
remember a
people.
soldier story?
I've heard of. I've heard of it, but
Remember Adolf? I can't remember uh, his last name. The guy who played that top sergeant.
I don't remember that. Well, I got a terrible memory anyway. I can't remember from 5 minutes ago. Still, but
Well, here's the deal. A lot of the self hatred. So I don't see dichotomies as much as explanations, and maybe you should not think of it as a dichotomy as
yeah,
much
maybe
as an
could be
explanation.
it could be the wrong word
You
choice.
might be too hard on your
Yeah,
father.
no, well, I'm not being hard. Maybe it's the wrong choice of words. Again, I just think that,
Words matter
yeah,
sometimes.
that's true. I just think, it's, a lot of times, in my experience, people are very, have hardened political views, and then it affects their relationships.
I don't think people have hardened political views.
Well, I think some of them do. Some people,
Yeah, like
yeah,
Stanley, like my little sister, she's she's a real, you know, Democrat, and man, she really likes.
HP, before you get too far along with this
Mhm.
horrible example, she doesn't sound like a woodhead. Bottom line
No,
is
no, 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 no.
there are no such things with people who can actually think as hardened political positions.
No, no,
well,
no, 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 no. I think in my sister's case, it's definitely more politically motivated. Like where really she really focuses on the whites a lot, like politically.
Okay, so focusing on the whites is a political position. What political position is that exactly?
Well, just like when you talk about the white male power structure and you
Is
know
there is there actually a white male power structure?
To a certain extent, yeah, but
Okay, then to a certain extent, she's right. Is that what you're saying?
it's not without
Focusing
merit.
on it to a certain extent seems to me, using your words, is a concern. And maybe
Isn't
she's right about her concern.
is it not without merit though?
Is it not escaping my point? I asked you a direct question. If there
Well,
is a
yeah.
white male power structure and your political sister is concerned about it, is she not right to be concerned about it?
Well, I
No,
think
she's
Stanley's
not. She's
systematic.
No,
not
no,
right.
no. Let
She's
HP answer this.
no, no, no. She's not right because she's not accepting that there's merit to that power structure.
Okay, so there's merit to a white male power structure. Gotcha.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they fought
No, no,
wars and
no.
killed. They
I'm
fought
using
wars.
your words once again. Your
They
words.
they.
There is merit to a white male power structure. I get you.
I mean, they worked for it. That's what
Yeah,
happens.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They work for it.
They
You know
did.
what else works in America?
I'm
Be
sure that.
brave.
Uh,
Work for
come on, be brave. This
Dude,
has
do
nothing.
you know how silly you sound?
Stanley,
Be
I'm not
brave.
talking about be
He's from the
brave.
West. Oh,
Be brave has nothing to do with the white male power structure,
yes, he
Stanley. And you,
does.
no, he
Oh no, no. Let me
doesn't.
tell you how he does.
No, he
He
doesn't.
claims, he claims and proclaims it's greatness. This
That
motherfucker is always talking about how what the great things the white male power structure has done.
We should talk about Be Brave in the next stream, HB. I got
Okay,
some thoughts on Be Brave.
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. But let's talk about it in my stream. Y'all are listening to one of the dude is stolen valor whiteness. He's
I
never,
hear you.
all he's done is done the bidding of his superiors, and he wants to touch the garments of his betters.
Well,
He touched a white
I was
garment,
trying to talk about my
therefore he
sister,
is
Stanley.
white.
I was trying to talk about my sister, Stanley, not be brave.
Oh no, no, no! I took it way beyond your sister.
Uh,
Your sister's probably right. And she might be more concerned about you.
no, 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 no. Luckily,
Your
luckily,
belief in that white male power structure, they work harder.
no, no, no.
It did make me laugh.
I said it's not without merit. I didn't say they work harder. I
I
said
think
it's
you
not.
did.
No, I said
Oh
it's
no, no,
not
no!
without.
I was listening
That's how
close.
you interpreted it.
No,
I
no,
didn't
no!
say that.
You literally said it,
I,
and even you said it,
I said it's not without merit.
and that's not problematic.
No, no, no. What's problematic is when you talk about it and you make it seem like it's just it's a negative or like it's
It
not
is a
without
negative.
merit. Not
It is
without
a
merit.
negative. I will say it. It is a negative. If there is a white male power structure, it is a negative.
Well, if there's not a white male power structure, what should there be?
You know what? DEI.
That's also a white male power structure. They created that, Stanley.
Oh, and guess what? You're right. I've mentioned that the whole feminism is a white male power structure.
Absolutely. So,
So motherfuckers, it is problematic. Now, dumb white men like B Braves invent their own problems.
but see, that's where my sister doesn't.
And then they
That's
swing sling blade.
but see, Stanley, that's where my sister doesn't understand that it's more political because she
I don't think
benefits
it's
from
political. I
she
actually
benefits
think
from
it's
that
more
same
aesthetic.
she benefits more from that white power structure the way that it is. She benefits from it, but still complains
Now,
about it, and I
why
think
is
that's
she
the
wrong
political.
from benefiting?
Well, because just like you said, feminism allowed women to go into the workplace. She wouldn't, if it was
No,
just
no, no, no. Women in the workplace is a slightly different problem. It's because of feminism.
right.
However, feminism is a white male invention.
That's why I say, it's more political why a lot of blacks don't like whites.
You don't understand what politics is if you're going to say that.
Uh, yeah,
I'm
yeah,
going to go out on that limb. You
yeah,
don't actually understand. Politics follows culture, remember? It's
yeah,
downstream. I'm sorry, I got it wrong. Politics is downstream of culture. Culture drives politics, not the other way around. And this is what Trump gets wrong. He thinks politics can create or drive a culture. What you do if politics wants to be the driver is create counterculture. And unfortunately, MAGA isn't smart enough to understand this.
yeah, yeah.
So,
John, you
Oh, I
want to?
was distracted over here.
Okay, 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 okay.
Sorry.
Well,
Uh,
Stanley wanted to know more about you and your dad's situation.
we can replay the show, but you said it was after the show was over. I'm fascinated to know.
I'm not surprised. Because he's always been a guy that doesn't want to hear anything negative about black people, even if it's true. He doesn't want to hear it. Yeah, I can, shit. I don't know who wants to hear something bad about them.
Does he wear a dashiki?
Well, it's interesting when he went to prison the first time. It was interesting, man.
Oh, I get it.
So
Okay, I see where you're going.
no,
I
not,
remember
not,
this
not, not
now.
where you think I'm going. The first time he went to prison, he, the you see a lot of brothers come out of prison, they'd be Muslims. And so he came out and he's pretty strict about it. He would go to the mosque and stuff like that. And then I think it was the first time he went to prison. But then he started to realize that a lot of them, the Muslim men that were in my hometown, I guess they were Pakistanis or whatever, they lusted after white women. This is what he told me. I don't know if it's true or not. This is just his words. And he also said that they would try to encourage the black men to adopt their names, change their names, or you see somebody, Muhammad Ali or whatever, change his name. But he said, but the Muslims would be trying to assimilate and be more white. He found that fascinating. He said he'd see brothers up there trying to speak in Arabic inflections and all that, whereas the people that they were emulating were trying to be white at the same time that the blacks are trying to be Arab, right? And it'd probably be much easier for a black to act white than it would be for an Arab or for a black to act Arab. And my dad just found it interesting, so he kind of drifted away from the Muslim aspect of it, but still he probably maintained a bit of hatred for white people. And I think the Muslim, as you see many people that go to prison, it really is that they're seeking some answers for maybe the hate in their heart or the way things are in America, is white run America, and Muslim represents kind of something different. It's
Yeah.
better than that. Yeah, I like that.
Sorry, there's carnival in
Are these men?
Thailand. I've been doing this all night.
Are these
So,
women? These are real women, right? Because you never fucking know.
I hope so. It's Rio.
Yeah, that one on the right looks like a real woman with the hat on. Yeah, the
Yeah.
cowboy.
Here is part of. Keep talking about your father. Did the prison part of it have a? He became more pro-black
He
after.
probably was always pro-black, maybe because of his complexion and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Ah, I see. Yeah,
like a peace situation. You know what I mean?
yeah. You see that with a lot of lighter skinned brothers.
Yeah.
They get real, shit.
Yeah.
Malcolm X.
Yeah,
Malcolm X isn't,
most of them were very
I
like.
think that is probably not the best example.
Well, I mean, there are a lot of examples actually, all the way up
Yeah.
until
Well,
today.
no,
But
no, no. I'm talking HB.
Mm.
the most successful, and I don't like to use the word grifters, but the people who are able to take advantage of these type movements typically are the fairer complexion from Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah.
What's interesting about Colin Kaepernick?
So you
It was,
think Colin Kaepernick was a grifter? Interesting.
Oh, big
yeah,
time,
yeah,
Stanley. Big
yeah.
time. Big
And the
time.
thing is,
Okay, well, it'll be
well,
2-on-1.
but
Uh,
it's not,
he
it's
might have
not too much.
become a grifter, but I
Oh
think
yeah. Well,
originally his belief, why he knelt,
well,
probably
yeah.
valid.
Well, I don't want to get into that, but I think
Of
that,
course you know.
well, because then we get off into a long debate. But when he started doing what he was doing, the blacks actually split. I don't know if you knew this, but there was a safety from Philadelphia, Malcolm
Oh, I
Jenkins.
don't.
Right, right. So the movement, like many movements,
Hmm.
split, right, and
Yep.
it was split
Like
primarily
Black
over,
Lives Matter, fractured
right.
is
They're
the
fractured.
better word.
That's correct. And Colin Kaepernick basically ran off with the loot and left the
Mhm.
other guys holding the bag. All they got was a end racism in the end zone and end racism on the back of their helmet, while he ran off with the loot and the fame and the movement. And then he eventually left the league while those guys were left in the league, and well, they got the end racism in the end zone as a token. But Colin Kaepernick got the money, and there was a lot of disagreement. Malcolm Jenkins was the lead on the other side. He's a very
He
dark
got
skinned guy.
what money? The Nike money?
Well, he got deals. These.
So you'll have to describe the story.
Yeah. Well, I'll
So
try to. So,
people that knelt with him wanted
right.
some of the loot.
Well, let's see. Here's the thing. Um, some of those people, and this is my opinion, and I think the history proves it out. Wanted to stay in football. You understand? They may have adopted Kaepernick's grievance. Remember, he was the quarterback. He was the leader. So, of course, some of these younger, fringe, marginal players, young, they don't know what the fuck going on. They follow Colin Kaepernick lead, not realizing that he may not want to play football anymore, right? He's willing to jump off the bridge, but I want to continue playing. And some of those guys wanted to continue playing, yet they were kneeling. And they had to get up, right? Because they wanted to continue their career. And some of them that kneel end up getting their careers,
Let me ask you an odd question. You actually overanalyze this, right?
Well, no,
Well,
yeah, because I watched it, and I watched a lot of the younger players
Dude,
who had longer careers, who were marginal players. If you understand
if
what,
it was a grift, why follow it?
well, and this is what I'm saying, Stanley. You're a 21-year-old boy, and you hear a movement is stirring about racism. You felt like it is true, this, that, and the other, just like the man on the
Well,
stream.
it depends.
Well, yeah, it depends, but
You
clear.
don't think racism is true?
Well,
wait, Stanley.
No.
Can I give
HB,
you an example of the grift? Can I give you an
You
example of the
need
grift?
to, no, wait. Dude, racism is true, is it not?
but
Wait,
it
wait,
does.
wait. But
Go ahead.
let me give you one example of the grift. Now, in the NFL and in the NBA.
Grifting off a system that actually exists?
Wait. Let me
Why
let me
is
just
that bad?
let me just point out how Colin Kaepernick was a kind of a grifter. Well, first, Nike was the one who sponsored all those Black Lives Matter and Black History
Yeah,
Month.
and they did a lot of things that they don't do now.
No, they
It's all
actually
money
they
making ventures. Dude, you're making a bad argument. We understand why a Nike would do black squares on the website. That's the obvious argument.
but they
Well,
My
also were
question
selling the
is,
they
my question to John is, it's grifting to profit from a system that actually exists?
well, there are more ways to do it. If you want to grift, right? I don't have a problem with that. But
You don't think you're grifting now?
mhm,
You
follow
don't
my,
think you're
I think
grifting
you're going to make
now?
it personal. But here's what I'm saying,
Oh, no, no, no. I'll make it personal.
right? But
Grifting is making money.
Well, that's why I said I didn't want to use the word grifting, because then we get hung up on the word.
I got you.
Right. But I think what happened is a lot of those guys, young, they're not looking into anything. They're on the football field, they're practicing, and then along comes hands up, don't shoot. They instinctively say, "Oh, that what happened? Okay, cool, I run with it." And they out there wearing hands up, don't shoot t-shirts. 6 months later, when the truth comes out and the nigga never had his hands up,
Okay.
you understand? So that is how a young person just may get caught up in it. He's not analyzing it, looking into it. And so you say, how could a 21-year-old get involved? He just casually brought into it.
All I have to say is you have fallen into a Rush Limbaugh-sized football analysis.
Okay, fair enough.
American life is not lived through a football lens, and you often fall into that point.
Well, I'm showing.
And John, it was all sponsored by Nike too. That's the beauty of it.
Surprise! Which one of you two were surprised?
Well, I think the bigger thing is
no. Answer the question. Which one of you two were surprised?
Well, nothing surprises me anymore.
I was actually surprised.
So,
I was actually surprised.
Nike. All I have to say is, sometimes this weird anti-black bullshit is circular.
But see, I don't think anybody's saying anti-black. At least I haven't.
Well, no, I'm using the term. Don't blame HB or yourself. I'm using the term.
Here's one of the things. Again, if you allow me. So the whole Colin Kaepernick thing, right? Again, he's the leader of the team, so some younger guys are going to follow.
He was second string. He was not leading.
No, at the time, he was leading.
He was not. He has never been, except for maybe occasionally. He was not the leader of the team.
No, he took He took him to
the bad point.
Yeah, Stanley. He took him
Kaepernick
to the Super Bowl, Stanley.
was never Tom Brady level leader of a team. Y'all, seriously, look at the merits of the argument. It's a bullshit argument.
If he was
ever a leader.
Right. How many games of Colin Kaepernick do you think you watched?
Motherfucker, I don't care. That's why I know he's not a leader.
That's why I say you don't
he's
care.
not. He literally, it's a bad argument.
Come on, Stanley.
It is literally. The dude was never starting quarterback.
Stanley, stop it, Stanley.
As a backup. See,
Stanley,
this is where the grifting starts in this sort of logic.
Stanley,
dude, start your own. Here Stanley, is where I critique fucking horribly.
But Stanley, here's the thing. Let's go with your logic, right?
There is no logic.
Well, let's go.
It's actual facts.
Let's go with what you're saying is the fact, right? So let's go with what
you're gonna.
You can't let me
go
finish,
ahead, John. My bad.
Let's say that he wasn't the starter, right? He wasn't anything. If you're acting up like that as a second string quarterback, because the second string quarterback is really
second string quarterbacks do what? They
starting quarterbacks
be better.
Right,
dude,
right. That's all their job.
I don't know about football.
Right. And so that's
I don't watch it every Sunday, but motherfucker, I've known about football since the HBO Lynn Dawson days. Your argument is not a good one.
All right, fair enough.
The second string quarterback stands on the sidelines with a tablet by now. Used to be the second string quarterback often helped with the call playing. Dude, Colin Kaepernick was never a leader of that team. So the argument that he was is fallacious.
So what you're saying is that Colin Kaepernick was
what I'm saying. Let's get it short.
Okay, so let's get it
right.
He
was not a leader.
So was he the second string quarterback or the first?
I don't give a fuck. He was probably third string.
Okay.
No, what you're gonna do is concentrate on the football facts and ignore my point about the leadership. Was he ever the leader of the team?
I get you. All right.
The answer would be no.
Okay.
So there goes the bullshit argument. Laugh if you must. Bottom line, Colin Kaepernick, leader of a kneel, is not leader of a team.
Stanley, I think you're a little sleepy right now, Stanley.
No, I think you know what? Here is what I'm not, HB. Colin Kaepernick, because no one has met me where I am. Y'all can't admit that Kaepernick never led a team. When did he lead?
In 2013, Stanley,
What was 2013, HB?
he led the 49ers to an 11-4 record, and he led the San Francisco 49ers to the 2013 Super Bowl.
Kaepernick won a Super Bowl?
No, he led them to
Then,
the Super Bowl.
motherfucker, he wasn't the leader.
Stanley, what are
He
you
was
talking
not
about?
the leader. Did he
Stanley.
win the Super Bowl as quarterback?
No, obviously he didn't
Okay,
win.
then obviously your argument is bullshit.
He's black. Of course he didn't lead it to
Oh,
the
he's
Super
black.
Bowl.
He's a leader.
Of course.
Okay, this is where you and John try hard, and it takes two of you to be wrong.
Stanley, just
No. Don't Stanley me. Answer the question, and you have a couple times.
Oh, wait.
Colin Kaepernick did not lead the 49ers to a Super Bowl championship.
Well, no.
Jalen Hurts is a leader. He won a Super Bowl. Kaepernick is not. You need to deal with the simple, like, you talk about politics. Politics is what people think and how you lead them to think. And you leading a small community to thinking Kaepernick was a leader makes me laugh.
Stanley, you're.
I am laughing. No, you need to answer the question. What did Kaepernick win as a leader? Leaders win.
I think you're.
I think you are sitting
tired.
in your own pile of dung.
Stanley, I think you're. You might need to take a little nap, Stanley. I think it's nap time for Stanley.
HB, answer the question again. I know you want to dance around it. Kaepernick was not a leader. He did not win anything. What did he win?
Well, I mean,
Besides
if that's your
your
argument,
respect and scorn.
If that's the case, that losers
No,
cannot be leaders.
It is the case. What you need to do is realize what you're saying. Kaepernick as leader is far right.
Well, let me ask you this, Stanley. Let me ask you this: Was Kamala a leader?
No, she didn't win.
Okay. Well.
Motherfucker, what is she leading right now? See, I actually think about what I say, so I can be at least relatively or barely consistent. Kamala's not a leader right now.
Was Hitler a leader?
He won. Not a war, but he did win politically, did he not? You want to talk the bullshit of politics, and you don't understand politics, son.
Stanley,
you're put shirts on.
No. I'm consistent and I'm right. It might take two of you to try and prove I'm wrong, but I know I'm right. This isn't a doubt. Hitler winner politically in Germany. He got what he wanted done. He picked a bigger fight. That's a what's her name argument, but she's actually right on the merits. Kaepernick, Never political. Why you think he led a team? That's far right, anti-black bullshit.
Ah, Stanley, you're
Kamala Harris,
you're
not
extremely wrong, Stanley.
not a Kamala Harris, not a leader. She didn't win. Leaders win.
You sound
Well,
like Trump. He said he
yeah,
don't
no.
like
You know
women.
what? Trump
Prisoners of
isn't
war. He like the
Trump
winners.
isn't wrong. He's just of low character.
So Trump
Oh
is a
no, no.
leader.
Trump
So
is a
Trump,
winner.
he's a
Oh,
leader. He's a leader.
absolutely.
He's a leader too,
Absolutely.
right?
He's a winner. And you
Yeah.
know what? Let's just say he's a leader too. I don't have a problem with that.
Okay. All right. All right.
And you know
Trump
the
is a
thing is,
leader.
Consistency of logic, sir.
the thing is, Stanley, that at one point Kaepernick was leading the team and they were winning, right?
Okay,
And
but
he
to
took
what
that,
end?
and he took the position from the starting quarterback, Stanley. Like you got
And
to be to be the quarterback. You are by de
what
facto
did he
leader.
win, John?
Well, he lost by an inch, but he was the leader of that
What
team.
did he win, John? I didn't
Yeah.
ask you how he lost.
He won the
I
starting
asked you
position.
how he
He
won.
won the starting role. That was the biggest job that he won because that gave him
Yeah,
leadership of
okay.
the team. That gives you leadership
So
of the team.
starting role equals leader.
Yeah. In
Yeah,
NFL,
yeah.
if
Okay, well,
at
what
the
you
quarterback
think is a
position,
leader is somewhat different than mine.
at the quarterback position, definitely, yeah. You're de facto leader. Even if you're not ready for it, you're going to be the leader. If you can't take it, then it's not going to work for you.
John,
Yeah.
your idea of what leadership is different than mine. So I'm comfortable with that.
Well, I'm telling you, on the
I
football
tend to
field,
think I tend to think larger picture. So I'm
Well,
okay that you think Kaepernick was a leader.
on the football
It's
field, he had to
Kaepernick,
be.
Stanley. It's Kaepernick. Kaepernick.
Well, I'm pronouncing it Kaepernick now for
Well,
Caper.
You
that's
can't be
probably
racist.
because you're.
You're
Probably
racist.
because you're.
Kamala.
Probably. Yeah. It's Kamala. It's Kamala. Probably because you're hungry. You want to put some capers on
No,
your bagel.
I'm eating my food. I am literally amused at you and John's version of what leadership is.
Well, look. Give me 1 second. I do want to say good morning to Helen Haynes in the
Oh,
chat
Hey,
and Kimmy Cakes. You know, we gotta acknowledge the ladies in the chat. Good morning, ladies. Happy Monday.
Deaconess Daves. Is that a woman?
Deaconess? Did you say deaconess?
Deaconess Dave.
Oh shit! Dave's about to come up and kick some ass.
Garyana.
Garion. Poor
Gary
Garion.
Ono.
Yeah.
No, but I get what you were trying to say though, John.
But you don't get what I'm saying.
I
Or
think
you
I
just
think you're
don't
just
agree with it. Do you not get
yeah,
it?
I
Or
don't
do you just not?
I agree what you're saying, but I just don't agree. I understand what you're saying. I just don't agree. I think when you are the starting quarterback, you are the leader of your team. Whether you win or lose, you're still a leader of your team. And not only
Oh
was
wow!
Kaepernick the leader of his team, but he was the leader of the kneeling movement in the NFL, and it was all sponsored by Nike. And he cashed out.
There's a little bit of an after thing.
Honestly,
Yeah.
Stanley, the more and more I think about it, if he really believed in it, you know, he really hurt a lot of young men who,
I think that's bullshit too.
well, a lot of young men, it's the unseen.
With
They
bad parents.
No, what I'm saying is some of those young men follow him into kneeling, and they were marginal players, and they end up getting cut, never played again. You don't even know their
So,
names. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there you go.
oh yeah, motherfucker. The other thing y'all don't understand is you get led into stupidity. Life isn't fair.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
That's
you're
a
kind of
military.
acknowledging. You're
Think before you kneel.
Is that man naked right there? Oh no, he got a.
that.
I can switch. Oh, that is a little harsh.
No, no, no,
It
no,
is
no. I think you.
It is
I think you.
Carnival.
That
Oh,
lady,
this is
But
Rio. So
that lady
apparently
got some
it's
nice styles right there.
so I can change it if it gets
she
too
was
uncomfortable for you.
No, no, no.
Well, there's some
uh,
sometimes
I
beautiful women. So anyway, I don't buy the argument. I understand Kaepernick
I'm uncomfortable.
led led his team for a bit. He's not in history books. Jalen Hurts is, Doug Williams is. I don't see him. Kaepernick, not a leader. I've never for once. My son is 18. I've never heard him mention Colin Kaepernick.
Well, thank God.
No. Don't thank God. How about let's be real? The man was
Well, thank.
not a leader.
Well, thanks Stanley. Thanks Stanley. Not letting them get into
No,
that
you
bullshit.
know, I never censored what my son read. He could have come to me one day wanting Kaepernick shoes. He did have a shoe, by the way. Remember that?
Colin Kaepernick in the shoe. I don't remember
Oh
that.
yeah, you didn't know that?
I'm not in the shoes like that, but
Fuck
I'm
that.
not surprised.
Well, I'm not either. It was a thing.
I'm not surprised. Yeah, I can believe it. I can
So
believe
he led at least a shoe collection.
it. HB, you gonna get trucking? Stanley, you gonna stay live? You can do both. We can do both.
No. I will bow out of courtesy that I have been disciplined into being by our lovely Portia. She had a she had a conversation. Uh, do better, Stanley.
I think the thing is, Stanley, you know,
Was what she
you
said.
know, I think the thing is, people want to see you up here, and so, and they want you to grow your audience as well. You know what I'm saying? Like you have a channel,
You know what?
and
I have no audience.
well, I'm sure you do. Hell, you've been up here most of the day, and you had people in the audience. I was listening.
Not really. Only since 3:30, and that was by accident.
Yeah,
So I will go to sleep when I need to. I'm not gonna prolong this, but
but yeah, I think I
kind of
think
fascinated.
yeah, I think people do want to hear what you have to say, and you don't want to. I don't want to say look pretty like
Antagonize.
that. Yeah, I like that. Look, she look too skinny, but I like. I
No,
like
this
natural
is
hair.
she is kind of skinny,
But that look
but
natural. That face.
this is the most fascinating thing, and I might need to learn Portuguese.
You probably speak English in this crowd and get away with it.
Portuguese? Apparently, Castilian Spanish, or maybe something. I had friends in college who were Spanish speakers, and Portuguese wasn't that hard to learn from there.
I tell you, some of these young men need to either start exercising and put a shirt on.
Oh, come on. Look, you don't
Frail
think
looking man.
you don't think copulation is gonna happen between the fat girls and the fat
Oh
boys?
yeah.
They're gonna have fun, John. They are young.
Yeah. Look cutie right there. I'm not a nice slim. I like them slender.
We can go over to HB's show, and then
Yeah,
I
started yet. It may not even started yet. Oh, he's gay though. It may not even started yet.
Oh, motherfucker, we're almost at 38 or 39. This is not a horrible thing.
No. One of the things I want to do, I like to see is test our audience. What they call it, like, oh wait, here comes HB. I thought you were getting trucking, HB.
Yeah. Wait. What'd you say? John?
I thought you were going trucking, HB.
Yeah. Well, no, I just lost.
Oh, we lost you.
Well, let us know. This show can end.
Yeah, we can keep it going, and you get going, and then we do a raid over to you. You may have lost HB then.
There, you know what? God damn it. My son, I might have to send my son to Brazil. Bring me back.
He might send himself to Brazil. You ain't have to send him.
Bring me
Now,
back a
John, we
boy
could just
and her mother.
Say what?
we could just keep this live going since it's we could just keep this live going since it's already
Look, it ends when y'all say so.
I mean, we could do a raid, and then it'd be under your title if you so choose.
Oh, okay. I'll just
Yeah.
start the next live up then.
Yeah,
I'll
go
just
get
start the
started,
next
and then
live.
we end this one. And we send a raid over there. And
Okay.
as I was saying earlier, man, yeah, I think it'd be good for us to test our audience to see, how much overlap or how much if maybe
my
people that
Lord,
tune in for HB, maybe people that tune in for you. And I think I used to do a lot of this in software testing, you know what I'm saying? Not software testing, but like personalization and shit. You go to a website and say Cracker Barrel. They say, hey, Stanley, you here? You ordered a hamburger with a milkshake last time. Don't forget the milkshake this time.
Yeah.
Somebody else ordered a soda. They suggest a soda to him. And, I'm curious to see how that works out. We probably can test
Did you ever do this in college?
What?
This sort of thing.
It's kind of like Freak Meat, right?
I guess in a way, except in Portuguese, and they probably have more fun, less dangerous. I don't see a whole bunch of
Cops,
people
man.
running around from. But I also want to point out that this was part of not exactly this. I was always much too modest, but I like seeing young people have fun like this. I hope my son's fucking. You know what? He didn't ask. I hope he fucking went to Rio. What would we do if I saw him having this much fun? I'd be worried. But no, motherfucker. Look. I raised. I'm way off the topic, John.
No, go ahead.
I know.
Yeah, freestyle. Go ahead.
But I want that woman for him.
Which one?
That is a good-looking woman. And unfortunately, I'm not going to go much farther, but I hope that motherfucker has fun. Responsibly, cool. This is what we raise kids to do. Now pull up your pants, son. This is what we raise kids to do.
Yeah.
Look at her.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I like that hair too.
And no fucking extensions in sight.
Nah. I wonder if can she speak English?
I bet she can. I would have to teach her.
There's plenty on being taught.
Me.
Yeah, a lot on being taught.
All right. Well, as soon as HB starts up his live,
we're gonna wait for a few minutes of that shit.
The migration.
Oh yeah, let me set that up. By the way,
the world's largest. Oh, that is funny.
Let's see, how do I do that? Let's see, I'll set that up.
The largest pop the balloon contest.
Everybody on the dance floor.
That is funny.
Raid. Everybody on the dance floor. All right, read it. Oh, it's already set. Okay, so whenever we end this one, it's already set.
All right. Well, we are out, folks. Let's go over the HBs.
HB on truck.
If you're new to the channel, to the John Galt Urban Landlord channel, hit the like button. You must to get the likes up. And we will see you over there.
And don't forget to check us out on Kick.
I'm sorry. Oh, that's right. Well, I missed last night's show. We're everywhere now.
Yeah, Kick, Rumble, Twitter. Not Twitter. Well, you can check out some of our tweets on Twitter, but John Galt presents and I think Urban Landlord clips or something like that too. So if you want to catch clips or catch it on other channels, you can. Make sure you subscribe to all those.
Oh my Lord!
There they go. That's a big girl getting in there.
Oh, you know what? Big girls need love too, and I bet that boy is gonna be in love after that kiss.
Somebody loves them.
You're my big girl now.
It's gonna be the kissing event. They all doing the kissing event. That's a wide
Oh
body.
my lord! All right, we have to go to less fertile ground. See y'all over there. Take it easy, folks.
Feel like I should feel like I should feel like I should feel like I should go. Go. Feel like I should go. Feel like I should feel like I should feel like I should feel like I should go.